Good midnight everyone, welcome back to your beloved Drawback chess speedrun series, and today we are continuing our run from 5300 to 5400 rating points, while also trying to preserve our perfect 100% win rate even after years of content. And without any further ado, let's get into today's content. First game we're playing at 5330 rating points, cheerleaders. Your non-pawn pieces can only capture if they're adjacent to one of your pawns. Absolutely impossible. Reveal drawback to opponent. E4. Okay, so I guess we can aim to push the pawns as forward as possible, and if we can spread the pawns enough that they cover most of the board, we can reduce the drawback's effect on the gameplay. E5. Knight F3. Knight C6. Bishop C4. My bishop isn't touching anything though, gonna have to be careful that this bishop is now an actual vegan. Queen G5. Very aggressive. That blunders a queen. Well, I'll say that is a very great start. F6. Aha. Now there is knight F7 or even bishop F7 check because the move is not a capture. But my opponent can actually go king takes F7, and then none of the two pieces can make the recapture because they aren't next to a pawn. Gonna have to reluctantly retreat the knight for now. Knight B4. Aha. He is anticipating me pushing D3 opening up my other bishop, which actually blunders knight takes C2 check, because my queen wouldn't be next to any pawns at that point. That is very sneaky. Castle. D6. A3. Again, pushing pawns should be good for me. Bishop G4. He's letting me take his knight. I don't know what is the scheme here, but of course, I'm not a coward. Knight H6. I'll do the same with this bishop. Who knows, maybe he'll let me take another piece. Didn't happen. Queen takes F3. Okay, but now comes the real problem. I genuinely cannot attack his king, because unlike normal chess, drawback chess requires you to physically capture the enemy king to win. Which means the checkmating piece needs to have a pawn next to it in order to deliver the final blow. I'm gonna have to spend a few moves to push the pawns forward. And the situation is even worse when I still don't know for sure which side this guy is going to castle his king. Never mind. Rook takes A7. My opponent counter-revealed. Crenellations, your pawns can only move to dark squares. Future Simp is reading this out to you guys, but player Simp actually didn't see the opponent counter-revealed during the game. King B8. All the way back. Preferably all the pieces need to stay next to a pawn at all times. C5. Aha. There is absolutely no reason for me to capture the pawn. B5. Resignation. A win makes a great start for today's video. Second game, let's go. Religious dispute. If your opponent moves a bishop, you must move a bishop, or lose. Absolutely impossible. Reveal drawback to opponent. Okay, now there are two threats of bishop c4 and bishop b5 threatening to check my king, which I cannot respond to because I would be forced to also move my bishop. Therefore I'll say we'll just completely avoid all the threats now and play for the best outcome possible. E5. Bishop b5. I am dead. Bishop b4. Who knows? Maybe he'll think that I can counter-check his king with my bishop. Aha! He really thinks I can counter-check? We actually have a chance here. C6. If I can remove both of his bishops, we can play this game like without a drawback. Didn't work. Bishop move is forced. It's alright, he's still thinking that I can counter-check. Never mind. Counter-check. Well, at least we tried. Final game of the day. One win and one loss. It all comes down to this. Horse eats first. As long as you have a knight, you can only capture with knights. Okay, still very difficult, but at least the game plan is very clear what we should be doing. Reveal drawback to opponent. Knights are the only thing that can capture. Knight f3. My opponent counter revealed, sleepy king, your king can only move when in check. Endgame drawback then. d5. Knight c3. The plan is very simple, I'll lose both knights as soon as possible, that way we can play the game without a drawback. Knight f6. That is very concerning, if he can somehow deliver a check, it would be a smothered checkmate because I cannot capture his knight. My knights need to die ASAP. Knight e5. Bishop f5. I don't care. Knight takes f7. Queen d7. Knight takes d5. Queen takes d5. One down, one more to go. Knight d6 check. It would have been nicer had I gotten more materials in return, but I don't think we can afford to risk the position any longer than this. E takes d6. Thank you. d3. Alright, now we can officially play the game without a drawback. I mean, I'm down 4 points of materials, but as a wise man once said, never mind. Knight c6. e4. Queen e5. That pins my e-pawn, bishop e2 unpinning the pawn. Bishop g6. Castle. Bishop e7. I really want to go d4 here, hanging the e-pawn to open up the e-file because his king cannot move, but d4 right now may get him wanting to take the d-pawn instead of the e-pawn. So I guess c3. It's alright, no need to rush, it's not like his king is moving anywhere. d5. Ha! Very convenient. Knight takes d5. Bishop f3. Bishop d6. He's setting up a battery to checkmate my king, but that blunders a woman. Rook to e1. Pinning the queen to the king, a very popular tactic even in normal chess, typically used to punish people who don't castle their kings. What is happening? I completely forgot that he can also hang his king. Rook takes the king. Third game is a win. 2 wins and 1 loss. Drawback chess speed run today. 100% win rate.